We theorize about everything, and theories are important as they help us understand events or situations. They also help us predict these events and situations. And there is an argument to be made that the more important the concept is to us, the more theories that address it. And there are a number of theories surrounding human emotions. Regardless of the theory you subscribe to, when you have emotions, you have to manage them. This video will focus on just that, how to manage your emotions, broken down into 4 basic steps: preparation, assess and label, decision, and expression. While the steps are basic, they're not necessarily simple. Before we start, let me say that I am a communication professor, not a licensed counselor, psychologist, or psychiatrist. If these steps aren't helpful to you, consider seeking professional help. Okay, let's start with the first phase, preparation, which refers to preparing yourself before you get into a situation where your emotions are tested. You've probably noticed that you are more likely to experience debilitating emotions when you are tired, hungry, lonely, or already emotionally wound up. If you keep stretching a rubber band, it becomes frayed and increasingly prone to breaking, usually at the most inopportune moment. If you can reduce the stretching, the rubber band will last longer. So actively work to put yourself in a more relaxed state. A quick Google search will produce hundreds of ways to relax: breathing exercise, soothing music, meditation, yoga, soaking in a warm bath or spa, aromatherapy, massage, adequate sleep, exercising, a comfortable walk, pet an animal. If you find clutter annoying, create time to organize. Do what you can to help yourself. It is also helpful to be in the correct mindset. You can control your emotions, or at least how you respond to them. If you find yourself saying, "You make me so mad," you've given control to the other person. He didn't make you feel mad. You allowed yourself to get mad. Acknowledge that you are the one in control of your emotions and that you can do something about it. Practice self-reflexiveness, which is the human ability to think about what we are doing while we are doing it. And pay attention to other people's emotions by observing their nonverbal behavior. We tend to mimic a partner's facial expressions, posture, and so on. If we notice how someone else is feeling, it might give us a clue about how we ourselves are feeling. Finally, consider if you need to seek professional help. Difficulty in managing your emotions may be due to a chemical imbalance, hormones, or sleep issues. Or you may find help through consultation with a spiritual advisor. There are lots of avenues for you to explore here. Now that you are prepared, what happens when you are exposed to a stimulus, or what some call an activating event? That's the assess and label stage. Warning, this stage may go fast. You may have to slow yourself down so you can process what's happening. You start with identifying what you are feeling. Pay attention to the physical reactions, like your breathing and heart rate. How does your stomach feel? Consider your nonverbal reactions. Are your hands shaking or your gestures quick and intense? And notice your voice and the words coming out of your mouth. Then play detective and try to determine the stimulus or activating event. Perhaps someone behaved a certain way. It might even be you. Could your feelings be connected to your thoughts, which might be irrational or full of fallacies? Remember, too, that emotions can be contagious, so it may be time to check what someone is saying or what her nonverbal expressions are. Now it's time to put what you are feeling into words. You label your emotions, and it may be much harder than you think. It's important to choose the right words. One of my colleagues claims that we are linguistically lazy. We get into the habit of using the same words over and over again. Let's take the word angry for a moment. Anger is a pretty strong emotion, but is it really accurate for what you might be feeling? Could your feeling be more intense, infuriated, intensed, enraged, seething, or less intense, perturbed, upset, bothered, annoyed? Or is it a different emotion altogether, frustrated, disappointed, helpless? And consider the intensity of your emotion. If you label the emotion with a strong word, might you end up escalating the emotion to a higher level than the feeling warrants? And to make this more difficult, there are fewer words to choose from to label less intense emotions. Also, you may be experiencing more than one emotion, mixed emotions. Could you be feeling both disappointed and helpless, or joy and wistfulness? Could you have one emotion, the primary emotion, that leads to a secondary emotion like fear leading to uncertainty? Be careful of using what another colleague of mine calls counterfeit feeling statements. I feel like leaving is not an emotion, it's an intention or a desire. What are you feeling that is creating that counterfeit feeling statement? Betrayed, embarrassed, uncomfortable, annoyed, bored? And really think, are these emotions you are feeling facilitative? Can they actually be helpful to you? Or debilitative? Are they harmful to you, interfering with your ability to go through life? Before we move on, you can consider this assess and label stage as something you might be able to funnel back into the preparation stage. Some counselors recommend journaling as a way to start recognizing and even managing your emotions. It doesn't have to be every day, but there is value in taking about 20 minutes to reflect on your day, week, month, and write it out or type it out. You would be writing just to yourself, so spelling and readability don't count. Just get the thoughts on the page or screen. Then you can save, delete, trash, but you've been able to reflect and observe. Now it's decision time. Do you want to express your emotions to someone or not? It's really your choice if you take the time to think about it. A lot of factors should be considered when making this decision, such as, is it necessary to express your emotions? Is it the right time or place? What might be the consequences, good and bad or indifferent, if you express your emotions? Might this be something you need to work on yourself, such as noticing that you're dragging along old baggage that doesn't really apply to this situation, or acknowledging that you might have misinterpreted or overreacted? This would lead to 3 decision points. Yes, I need or want to express it now. Yes, I need or want to express it, but now is not the time or place. Or no, I neither need nor want to express it. Regardless of your decision, you need to manage yourself. This may mean deep breathing, giving yourself time to think, self-talk, planning how you will handle it, and so on. Assuming you've decided not to express your emotions to others, you'll want to spend some time on self-care. How will you handle this? Do you need to remove yourself from the situation? Do some more thinking about what got you to this point? Accept that it's not a big deal? If you have decided to express your emotions but don't feel you can or should do it at this time, maybe you need some time to cool off, or you don't want to make a scene in public, then think about when, where, and how you will express your emotions. Once you've decided that now is the time to express your emotions, you need to start by managing yourself when you are in the situation, by managing your breathing, thinking before you speak, talking to yourself, and engaging in self-reflexiveness. Again, consider your language. Expand your emotion vocabulary. In addition to sharing your emotions, you could share your physical reactions like, I'm so worried I can't sleep, or my stomach feels like it is tied in knots. You might describe what you'd like to do, like, I feel like giving up. But remember to emphasize that you are not giving up and think about the consequences. If your emotions are intense, don't downplay them. If you are angry, don't say, I'm a little upset. And try not to make the emotion broad sweeping. Relate the emotion to a specific circumstance, not the whole relationship, such as, I feel left out when you spend so much time with your friends. Be careful of over-explaining yourself. Sometimes a few well-chosen words will do. Accept responsibility for your emotions. Don't blame others for your feelings. Use I language, such as, I get angry when, rather than you make me so angry. Of course, you need to manage your nonverbal behavior. Try to be reasonable. Watch your volume, your eye contact, and your posture. And throughout all of this, watch for and be prepared for consequences. It's good to be optimistic that expressing your emotions will be beneficial, but you also need to be prepared if the situation worsens to the point where you might feel unsafe. I hope that these 4 basic but not so simple steps, preparation, assess and label, decision, and expression, not only help you apply the theories about emotions, but allow you to be more proactive than reactive. Take control of your emotions rather than letting your emotions control you.